Oh, listening, if you're under the age of 18, that's right, folks, especially if you are my children. This is not for children, okay? I'm tired of not being able to walk past preschools, okay? I'm trying to get from a level 3 to a level 1. Hashtag sex offender by accident. Don't poop in a sandbox. No, listening, if you're under 18, goodbye. Thank you.
Niños, escuchen estas palabras mientras que salen de mis labios agrietos. El siguiente programa, aunque esto sea muy divertido para toda la gente, no es para los niños. Como un burro que busca agua fría, un balde, y eso le va a dar toda la satisfacción que necesita, esta agua no es para ustedes. Por favor, vayan donde sus padres. Ayúdelos a limpiar los baños. No vayan a escuchar esto. Es muy importante. Que Dios nos bendiga a los Estados Unidos. Gracias.
Just like that.
Just like that. Are we in the show now?
We're in it.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Right?
What?
Camera 1. Camera 2.
Oh, no. I forgot my makeup.
Yeah.
I need the Barbara Streisand.
It's Sheila out here.
Mira Has Two Faces neck tape. Mm-hmm. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Brian McCarthy. It's the Brian McCarthy Interview Show. Sitting stage right is Adam Hineker. Welcome and welcome. Boy, what a show. We had a guest today. Unfortunately, they had to cancel, and they canceled they told us they have cancer, which is can't really. What are you going to say to that one?
You know this person, so this is verified.
I don't really know her that well, but I wanted just to say, like, hey, if
you don't know her well enough that she's not faking cancer.
Well, it'd be funny if she just gave herself cancer to not do the show. She was like, I've been sitting in an X-ray technician's room without that lead vest on.
You got to respect the sort of
commit to the bit.
Commitment.
Yeah. So that was funny because Adam showed up today, and I was like, hey, is the guest coming? And Adam goes, no, she said she has cancer.
She has the greatest excuse. One of the greatest reasons for not being able to make a podcast. I
feel like a game show host. We would have accepted. My dog ate my homework.
Sure.
The train was running late. Yes. You didn't have to go right to, I have cancer.
Right.
That's like saying, like, there's that, I love the Onion, like, pizza delivery boy's 7th grandmother dies this year.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. Anyway, clearly she's been having cancer and she had some sort of reaction, and she's not dead or anything.
In the ER. She said she's in the ER, but then went, as far as say, like, I hope we can reschedule. And I said, honey, let's, first of all, I don't know how contagious that is.
Oh,
but I don't want to bring cancer home.
Don't come in here all blind, holding like an IV drip or anything, or bald. I meant to say bald. I said blind. That's my gig. That's my job.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, welcome to the show. It is so nice to be here with all of you. Remember, if you're watching, it's YouTube and hello. And if you're watching, it could also be on Facebook and hello to that. We have the super chats up and running. If there's any questions or anything you want to get to going, this is sort of the forum. We will be checking in with everybody to see what's happening.
If you want to break into the show, just send a super chat.
It's a safe space. And even if you have cancer, you can still break in. I'm sure
I would probably give you a significant discount.
Just don't use an Android.
If you,
it's fine. You can have cancer and make sure it's not an Android phone.
Right.
That bums everybody out.
Yeah.
So, all right. So just a couple of things. So, just a little housekeeping. October 28th, the Laugh First Sight Gotham Comedy Club benefit. October 28th, Gotham Comedy Club. I think the ticket link is active on just Google search Gotham Comedy Club and Laugh for Sight. October 28th, Lewis Black, Mike Vecchione, TJ Miller, Jim Gaffigan, and many, many, many more, up to 19 more comedians. No, it's going to be a really fun show, and I wouldn't like come into town for it, but if you happen to live in New York or the tri-state area,
you're coming in for supplies anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Right. If you need hardtack, I need hardtack and wheat flour.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a hell of a winter. So, so that's the show. So we'd love to see you there. And, it's a benefit for seeing eye dogs, not support animals, because I don't believe in those.
You don't believe in general support.
Well, I think like
you have to be missing a sense.
Yes.
One of the 5 major
senses. Or cadaver dogs.
Okay.
Cadaver dogs would be fine. But yeah, like remember for a while there, it was kind of like this weird window where people were like, I have a support pony. So
Yeah.
I'm going to get on this
support lizard.
Yeah. I'm getting on my JetBlue flight with my support, my team of Huskies. Although I was just traveling recently and we can get into that, but, I see a lot of dogs in the airport. If I flew with a dog on the plane, I would be so worried the dog would piss on the plane.
Yeah. Or die under my seat. Like that happened to a guy.
It happened. If you're thinking of the same thing I'm thinking of, there was a situation where a flight attendant, probably some gay guy, am I right?
You think?
Told
the
person to take the dog and put it in the overhead compartment.
Okay.
So they did. And then at the end of the flight, they opened the overhead compartment and the dog was dead. Now that sounds like an urban legend, but I swear to God, I would bet $100 that that's a real thing that did happen.
Okay.
But also, I don't think you're allowed. Matter of fact, I know for a fact you're not allowed to take the dog out of the carrier when you're on the plane. So you can't, even if it's like one of those little like purse dogs, like a Bichon Frise or whatever, you can't just like take it out and stick it on your lap. It's got to live in its case, in its, fucking carry purse thing.
The one I was thinking of was that guy AJ Benza. Remember that guy?
Oh my God, yeah, I remember.
He told a story on a show that I heard, and he put his dog was underneath him.
Okay,
and then like his dog somehow died.
Oh,
because I don't know, something to do with the elevation or something, and then so he was just weeping because his long time.
Remember. A couple
furry companion had died, then he's like, and then it started to smell.
Oh, come on, give me a break! Now
you're fucking crazy.
How long
isn't
is
that
flight?
Just a nightmare? It was. I mean, because he's in LA. I think it was like coast to coast.
Yeah, number one,
fucking. I mean, that's like the most horrendous story.
Lo, how the mighty have fallen because AJ Benza, number one, he's flying coach at that point,
probably
because you're not.
Who knows?
Number two, he's flying coach and not even more leg room. He's in like he's in like what was he flying? Spirit Airlines or something, like Frontier or something like and how I don't think, look, I'm not an expert.
Inside Edition flew him out or something.
I'm not they have a chopper. Yeah, come on. But I'm not an expert on how long it takes for a dead dog to start to smell, but it's got to be more than 5 hours. Unless
that's what, you're right about that, because I don't think a dead body smells right away. But what if it? But I think maybe he was saying like it expelled its.
I was going to say that
expressed its bowels.
Jesus, this dog exploded.
I don't know. It sounded like a nightmare and not something you would lie about. Just to, you're not just bragging about your dead dog under the seat.
The thing that I know about AJ Benza, and for those of you, I know we have a significant international listenership.
Sure.
Bienvenidos, as they say in your country, and England. Cheerio, as they Ted.
Pip pip.
Hello. Hadrian's Wall and things of that nature. But I know that AJ Benza famously, because he was sitting in for a while on the Howard Stern show, it was a long time ago, and he attacked Stuttering John because he was convinced that Stuttering John was putting through calls that only hated AJ Benza. So
was Stuttering John the call screener?
Something like that.
I didn't realize he was
he was producing the call screening.
Got you.
That was probably more of the pitch, but
he was overseeing the department.
Yeah. So but then apparently, and then, once you put your hands on somebody, unfortunately, it's kind of game over in terms of like working somewhere.
Yeah.
And, but apparently AJ Benza later said that he was just doing like piles of cocaine at this time. He had that show. I can't believe we're talking about AJ Benza, but he had that show on E. It was called like True Hollywood Stories, right?
Yeah, where you just basically
like told
all the shit that happened, sort of.
And then Lucille
all the
Ball,
stuff you're not supposed to basically say.
Yeah, exactly.
At the Chateau Marmont.
Yeah, exactly. Or like,
and I don't know,
stories that are so old that nobody even remembers. He's like, so you remember the story about Humphrey Bogart and the cocktail waitress at the Stork Club? No.
Hey, we got a super sticker from Mommy.
Hey, what's up, Mommy?
She says, enjoying while I clean, boys.
Hey,
XO, Mommy.
Hey, what's up? Hi, Mommy. Thank you so much for that super sticker. It's funny because this is really not funny, but I had one of those Samsung stick vacuum cleaners.
Okay.
I was going to ask you to
Someone's
take.
doing well.
I was going to, oh yeah, it's nice. It's a hit. And I could have gone for the Dyson, but I said, hey, why not? Oh, I've already got a Miele vacuum cleaner. Who am I trying to impress in my broom closet? But so it's one of the ones that sticks on the wall, and it hasn't worked for a while because the canister thing, you're supposed to like click it on and then you press a button and the fucking thing turns on. It hasn't worked for a while. I mean, I don't use it because I'm a guy.
I feel like we looked at a vacuum cleaner once, but it was at your last place.
God, is that a long?
It was in
that was
on the west side.
A previous vacuum cleaner.
We worked on a previous vacuum cleaner. You had an issue with a previous vacuum. I think I helped you put a bag in.
I think you brought. Hey,
leave
my ex-wife out of this. Yeah. So the Samsung thing is broken, and I only bought the fucking thing. Actually, it's kind of a funny story because I bought it.
Maybe you got to check the firmware.
I'm gonna, whenever
that wasn't a serious
I'm gonna give, no, I understand. No, it's okay. I mean, no. I was just gonna kind of crack the hood for everybody. Poor Adam. He shows up here to help me with the show and do the show. And it's a thing that we do together. And, but then before he leaves, I'm always passively aggressively like, hey, Adam, I wonder if have you ever defragged a hard drive before? And he's like, all right.
And listen, I'm very honest. So sometimes I will say, you not being able to see as well is just as good as me looking at that. And then certain things I know about, certain things I can do.
One time you said to me, teach a man to fish, he eats for life. And then you just left in a huff.
Yes.
I was like, oh shit. As I piss him off.
I left you with I had actually needle pointed that on
I'm always worried with Adam, you're such a genial fellow. I'm always worried like there's just gonna be one thing where you're like, fuck this guy.
Just never come back.
You just never come back. You cut the green screen with a box cutter.
Right.
You're like, good luck doing these shows, faggot.
Sure.
And then you just leave.
Yep.
No, but when I first got this Samsung thing, the first vacuum cleaner, like I bought it 3 years ago when we got the new apartment, and bought it, and it fucking broke. It did. It broke. I don't know why, but it broke. And also, I bought the separate attachment, which looks like a tube, and you take the canister with all the dirt off, and you pop it off of the Samsung, the mechanism that has the the vacuum cleaner part on it, and then you take the tube and you put it on top of this long, it's like a trash can, but it's like a long, looks kind of like an umbrella umbrella case. What do you call that when you put umbrellas in? Umbrella stand. So and you put it in, and you put the container on top, and it sucks all the dirt and shit out, and it goes, and it takes all the dirt and it puts it in a bag, and that way you don't have like dust and shit flying around the apartment. Anyway, so the first time I had it, it broke. So I called Amazon, and it was out of warranty. And I was talking to the woman at Amazon, and I noticed she had a little bit of an accent. And I said to, and I know in Amazon they have they have call centers in different countries, and one of them is somewhere in India, obviously, and then I'd say like either India, Philippines, but occasionally Jamaica, which is interesting.
Ooh, I would like a Caribbean tech person.
Yeah, you can't work a vacuum cleaner. It doesn't broke.
Yeah.
I
would enjoy that.
You got a plantain stuck in it. Maybe a dreadlock is stuck in the mechanizer.
A dreadlock. There could be one of those big dreadlocks like the drifters, the squatters have down on St. Mark's.
Maybe take your dreadlock out of the mechanism.
I like that. It's always like something very regional.
Yeah.
Could be a bun and cheese.
Yeah. Maybe too much jerk chicken stuck in it, man. But so
dirty rice.
So I heard her, and too many pigeon peas. She sounded like she was Jamaican, and I said to her, hey, are you Jamaican? And I think they kind of tell him at Amazon, like, don't fucking let these people. This guy,
don't mix it up with the locals.
Yeah, don't initiate. Don't try to, because maybe they know I'm just trying to like get something over, or something,
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, because one time I did that, and the guy sounded clearly like he was in India, and he was like, no, I'm not in India. I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to fucking argue about it. So fine, I'm in the Netherlands. I am in
my
Finland.
name is Sven.
Yes, right. My name is. I am from. Can't even pronounce the part of it.
I drink
Iceland.
a lot of reindeer blood.
Yes,
he's just naming things. He's got a cheat sheet.
My neighbor is Santa Claus. So anyway, so this woman, I said, "Are you in Jamaica?" And she goes, "Yes." And by the way, this was like a few minutes into her being like, "Look, it's over warranty. You're not getting this thing back. Like, I'm really
Okay.
sorry. You got to call Samsung. You know, we're not responsible." Blah blah blah. And so I was like, "Fuck." So while I sort of threw a Hail Mary, and I was like, "Hey, are you in Jamaica?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "Yes." No, she didn't.
Matter of
No, she was like,
fact.
"Yes," you know. And I said, "Oh, that's interesting." I said, "You know, it's interesting." And this is where I totally just fucking punted it. And I said, "Sounds like you're from Montego Bay," because I figured, I think Kingston is kind of a disaster, and the other
Okay.
big city in Jamaica is Montego Bay. So I figured if they're gonna have a call center, it would be
Yeah.
in Montego Bay. It was
Right.
like an educated guess. And she went, "I am in Montego Bay." And I said, "Oh, it's so beautiful there." And I said, "Yeah, right by Half Moon Bay." I just remembered there was something
Ooh.
called, and she goes, Half Moon Bay. Now she's like, she's totally. And I said,
Right.
I said, "That's so great."
Mamba clots.
Yeah, yeah, right. Do you know the Marleys? Yeah. Do you know Peter Tosh? Anyway, so let me just let me skip to the end of the story. 3 days later, brand new Dyson vacuum cleaner. No,
Wow.
not Dyson. Samsung vacuum cleaner in from Amazon. So now I have like double, like the stick and all the different fucking little attachments and shit. I got them all in the fucking garage in my
Right.
little broom closet over there. But now the second one is broken. But I called
Ooh.
again and last night, and now I got like a woman who sounds like she's from the South, and that's not going to work because I'm like, then you're like, "Oh, are you from one of the shitty poor states?" Because nobody has like a job like that doesn't have a Southern accent, you know. So it's always, she's like, "Amazon, how can I help you?" Because I had to call Verizon. Now, for those international listeners, that's our that can be like your internet or your cell phone. And there was a woman who I figured out. I was trying to deal with my cell phone, and we got to talking, and she was in Appalachia, and she said she works from home.
Mm.
And I said, "Do you live in a holler?" Now, for those of you who don't know, that is an Appalachian term for like living between the Veal of two hills,
Okay.
like a holler. Like I'll live in a holler. My son died from OxyContins. Threw his back out in the coal mine. Before you know it, he was sucking dick for dope.
Yeah. Well, they have that. Their knockoff Mountain Dew is called Mountain Holler.
Is that true?
Near Appalachia, or like a kind of that area.
Yeah. There's
I don't know why I know that.
That is weird. What do you mean? They have
Fun fact.
There's like another.
But you know how there's like the cheap, like the knockoff sodas, like
Yes.
Dr. Thunder.
Yes. Well,
You know what I mean?
That's
You never
my-
heard of Dr. Thunder?
it's my S&M safe
Yeah,
word.
exactly.
Dr.
That's
Thunder.
my
Take it out.
stripper name.
It's too deep. It's way too deep. Take it out. I can taste the metal. I can
Uh-huh.
taste the metal. I'm getting blood all over this Comfort Inn
Dr.
bedspread.
Thunder.
Dr. Thunder.
Yeah.
That's supposed to work, you know. No, I didn't know. That's a real drink, Dr. Thunder.
Yeah, Dr. Thunder. Let me just for fun.
Okay. Yeah, but let's have some fun and see if Dr. Thunder is a thing.
Real quick. James O'Sullivan writes, how much super chat money for you to play gay chicken?
Oh.
Us together, or for you to play
No
with James O'Sullivan? I think he wants to play with you.
No, I think he wants to play with the two of us. Hey, Jimmy, 70 cents. Let's get it going.
Free.
Yeah. I don't know, because Adam won't even take his shorts off, and he wouldn't put on shorts. I
can't even imagine on a live stream the amount. I would actually need some like significant money to do that on a live stream.
Yeah,
that lives forever. You and I
mean,
tongue kissing.
But listen, we're both. You're well into your 40s.
Yeah, but you never know if you're going to want to run for office. You know what I mean?
I know. That was I think about it now, like the fact that I'm 51, the only job that I could have where I'm still like a young dynamo would be if I ran for the president. It's like my last job. You know what I mean? Like, you know, because like if you're
because of my age, median age.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, exactly. I can't be 51. Like there's no, even like a professional bowler, I think I'm too old to be even like a seasoned professional bowler. Like even if I was a professional bowler, they'd be describing me as like in the twilight of my career, you know, like I'd have some sort of rotor cuff surgery or something. So I feel like with jobs now, even a senator, like I'm the age of a senator, 51,
Sure.
but only if I was like a president. I'd be like, young Brian McCarthy came out of nowhere. He's a kid at 51, and
Yeah.
I'd be there in my Pet Shop Boys and, still talking about algorithms and trying to
Sure.
but
that would be your big, would be
algorithms.
Big
I'm like,
algo.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, you guys are in the algo? God, sorry. I'd have to be real like young in my speeches.
Right.
God, man.
These fat cats at YouTube.
Yeah.
Fat cats at TikTok.
My sounds like my opponent's pretty faded. Am I right, everybody?
Yeah.
Is that the
It's skibbity.
Yep. What's the sitch?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
he's always flexing about his policies.
Yeah, or I have to use bad English on purpose just to ingratiate myself with the great unwashed in the middle of this country. In the middle of a debate, I go, irregardless, and everyone goes, "Oh man, he gets us."
Irregardless is a good one because that's like you're trying, but failing. That's
one of the things I don't like about The Sopranos is when you watch The Sopranos, like the writers are very smart people and they're all way overeducated, way overeducated. That sounds really stupid, but like
I know what you mean though.
Yeah.
These are not mafia foot soldiers.
No, but I mean the actual exactly. But what they do is they'll write, like, for example, there was one episode where they were trying to talk about Nostradamus and they were going like, Quasimodo. Yeah, Quasimodo. Like Quasimodo said it. Quasimodo. And I'm like, nobody would mistake Nostradamus for Quasimodo. Like, it's just stupid. Right. And then they'll have like, they'll take like a beat and they'll be like, Tony will be like, irregardless. And you're like, all right, guys, we get it. He's brilliant, but he's an uneducated, brilliant mobster. Like, you don't need to fucking hit me over the head with
My favorite is the Aaron Sorkin and
Walk and Talk.
Just the fucking insane dialogue that would just never happen. And then who's the guy that did Billions? Was that Koppelman?
That one I don't know, but
that show. You watch that just to see the them shoehorn in references to like Elvis Costello songs.
Oh God,
it's the most unnatural.
Yeah, I can't.
Weird. I loved that show, but it's bizarre.
By the way, I think they're doing a version called Trillions.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I think, or Millions. I think they're creating like a universe
Hundreds.
Where they have Illions.
Really?
They're doing like they're creating like an Illions
different
universe.
Increments.
Yeah.
I would just call it increments.
They're doing one with zillions.
I call it currency.
Yeah, exactly. I call it change for $1.
Cajillion. Yes.
Well, that's why, and I know this is a very controversial opinion, but I don't like The Wire because The Wire, I call it like ghetto porn. Because I don't know any black people that watch The Wire, and people will it's like white people watch The Wire and they're like, I love The Wire. I'm like, nobody fucking talks like that in the fucking ghetto. Relax. Like nobody's like vaguely quoting Shakespeare. Like, I mean, I
don't recall any of that happening.
Here's what I mean. I don't mean actually quoting Shakespeare, but like watching two characters stand on a corner, selling $20 bags of heroin, and one turns to the other one. Yeah. And one turns to the other one. Oh, who's that? Anybody good?
Casey Baltimore. You don't think?
Oh shit! I know who that is.
You don't think?
No, it's a family thing. But
no, it's just crazy that we were talking about.
Oh yeah, The Wire.
Baltimore.
Oh, I can't. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was like the mayor.
If I was a good member of my family, I would take that right now. But because I know what that's about.
You're in the middle of a show.
I will get to that. Whatever
my show.
The thing that happened has already happened. There's nothing I can do about it.
Oh no. Some kind of family drama.
Yeah, sounds something like that. But anyway, so what I was going to say is when I'm watching the when I'm talking about the corner or that's another Baltimore show, but The Wire, like when a character will deliver like a 3-minute monologue on like selling drugs and the customers and how you have to treat them nicely and kind of school another guy. I'm like, these are too many words. Like it's not they like black people. Just nobody talks like that to each other. Like you listen to this and you're like, oh yeah, these are like writers who
Yeah, it's
these
the
are
writer's room version
thank you.
of like a corner boy with a heart of gold.
A hooker with a heart of gold.
He's got like a teacher that
Yeah.
thinks he has potential.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, I don't know if that really happens in real life.
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer shows up and gives him a miniature whatchamacallit because he was able to conjugate the verb to run.
Yes. Yeah. No, I definitely know what I don't recall a lot of that because that kind of thing would really bother me too. But I watched The Wire, so I was 10 years. I was way late to it, but it was still 10 years ago that I watched it.
It'd be funny, like in the middle of one of those, at the very end of it, Michelle Pfeiffer just rides by like on one of those bird scooters, and she goes, "Now you really know your tenses, homeboy," and gives him a Hershey's kiss. Yeah. So, all right. So I was in Los Angeles last weekend. I was there actually for 5 nights, and I went out there to.
Jeez Louise.
I know it's
a long time.
It was a long time. Trust me. It felt like fucking 10 nights. Believe me. So, and. Without complaining too much or getting into the sort of nuances of the trip, it was a big bust. I was supposed to, I'll just give you the highlights. I got out there on a Wednesday night, and I thought, by the way, LaGuardia Airport, not LaGuardia, sorry.
JFK?
LAX.
LAX
is the whole fucking airport is under construction. So when you get off the plane, you've got to like go down, left, right, and then you walk through like, it's like a tunnel of plywood. You got to go. And then you go all the way, and then you pop out. And then, I'm trying to get a Lyft or, an Uber, to go to the hotel. And then you pop out. And then thankfully there was some kid that was like, because I can't.
Rideshare wrangler.
I can't see that well. No, he was like another guy on the plane, and he was like a young guy, and he was like. Then he was. I said to him, I'm like, "Are you getting a lift?" And he was like, "Yeah, you have to take a shuttle bus." So now you plywood. Then you pop out of the airport. Then you have to get in on a fucking shuttle bus. Then the shuttle bus. Then you go to this parking lot that's like 10 minutes away. It's like past long-term parking, and then you kind of get out of the shuttle bus, and then this is where all the Lyfts and Ubers have like numbers. So then presumably the Lyft that you called would be like 18, and you look for spot 18, and there you go. So it takes you like an hour just to go from the plane. Plus some guy's dog died. No,
right.
What's that smell?
Tabloid.
Yeah. Poor little pooch shat himself. Right. You think he shat himself on the flight, or do you think he shot himself right before he died? Was his last thing he did? He's like, "Roarf." So anyway, so it takes like an hour to get from A to B, right? So, okay. So I get there, and I get to the hotel Wednesday night, check in, that's fine. And then Thursday morning, I was supposed to do Eddie Iff's podcast. So, because Eddie Iff because I started all of this stuff. I started my journey with Eddie and Jim Jeffries, 15 years ago at this point, which is ridiculous. And the strides I've made, and
your journey that led to your dining room table.
Yeah, exactly. bit of a circuitous journey. And ironically, this is a different dining room table.
I should imagine.
Oh, yeah,
you didn't bring this coast to coast.
The other one was when all the raw sewage came in the old apartment, so we had to throw it out. Anyway, it's still good. There's a little poop on it.
Yeah.
But so Eddie F has been like, next time you're in LA, do the show. Can you do the show? I mean, he wasn't like begging me, but it was like we were trying to figure out. But I would always tell Eddie, like, look, I can't come to LA just to do the podcast. I mean,
sure. They don't provide accommodations
unless you're going to send the talking shit chopper, So finally, I was like, and this is, a couple weeks ago, I was like, all right, Eddie, I'm coming to Los Angeles Thursday, August 30th or whatever it was. And he was like, okay, we're going to do it. You, me, and maybe Patton Oswalt, and maybe this guy, and maybe Jamie Kennedy, if he's not working maybe not working at the Jack in the Box.
Sure.
Look at me being cunty. And with your uncle fucking want to be president with Trump or something. Your uncle covered in whale juice. So I was like, okay, I'll do this show. So Thursday morning, I get up at the hotel, and I sent Eddie a message, and I was like, all right, well, I guess give me the details, because he said you're going to pick me up, and we're going to go to Malibu, because I'm staying in Hollywood. Hollywood to Malibu is 40 minutes, and so he was like, I'll send a car, don't worry. So he hits me back immediately, and he was like, "Yeah, producer can't do it. No show. Sorry." Boom. So there's that. That's done. So then I call the producer for Don't Look Now, which is the submission in the Studio City Film Festival, and that's why I went out there to sort of support the show and try to build some stuff around that. And the producer was like, I was like, yeah, I was supposed to do a podcast. That didn't happen, but at least I'll make it to the opening party tonight. And he goes, oh no, that was last night. I was like, oh fuck. So I got the wrong night.
Oh no.
Yeah. And so then I had been texting with Jim Jeffries, and Jim was like, hey, on Saturday, it's my birthday, and my wife's having a party, and some family is coming in from Australia. Why don't you come to the birthday party at my house? Because I think he had built a new house, and he's like, I can show you my new house. I was like, yeah, great. I'll look at the new house, and I hadn't met the new wife. I only knew the old wife. Shout out to Kate. And little boy Hank, he's probably like 12 now. Right. And so I said, okay, I'll do all of that. And then Thursday, I sent him a text, and I was like, hey, I was trying to like cheer myself up, like, well, everything's falling apart. So I sent Jim a text message, and I was like, hey, give me the details for Saturday. And he responds, and he goes, you're not going to believe it, mate. Because, he's Australian.
Yeah, of course.
And crikey, you're not going to believe it. An alligator ate my birthday. An alligator ate my birthday. You call that a birthday? No, this is a birthday. So he goes, you're not going to believe it. My wife actually surprised me with a trip to Palm Springs.
Oh boy.
So are you going to be in town on Tuesday? And I was like, no, I'm not. So I said, sorry, I'm not going to be in town on Tuesday. Have a happy birthday. Unless something something happens. If I happen to be still in LA on Tuesday and I'm not dead, then I'll give you a call. So no podcast, missed the party, and didn't see Jim for his birthday. So now
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So now I just had.
Wait, and that was the only function for the film, was just that one night?
No, the one night was Sunday. See, that's what they do on these film festivals, because I'm big.
That's how they get you.
I'm big in the industry.
Please, step and repeat.
Yeah, right.
Things of that nature.
Guys, where's my camera? Which one there's so many flashing lights at me. Mm-hmm. The idea is they have a party at the very opening of the thing, and then the screening for the thing that I was out there to do wasn't until Sunday. So that's why I had this long stretch of time. It was like party Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, viewing on Sunday. So I had like all this extra time between party and the screening. So that's when I was filling it up with podcast and gym and other things I could think about to do. Right. And I couldn't have any of that to do. So then finally on Sunday, I went to this screening, which was in North Hollywood. One of the producers was there. I saw him, and we saw the screening. I mean, it was kind of a non-event. It was over Labor Day weekend, so it wasn't very well attended.
Right.
So
yeah, everybody's at barbecues. And
I did find
in Palm Springs.
Once everything started to go to shit on Thursday, I decided that I would have some disgusting fun in the hotel. And what I did in my hotel room was every time I used the toilet, either to pee or poop, although I didn't really, because do you get constipated when you fly?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't recall.
Most people, apparently it's a fairly common thing because
I can see that happening. Yeah.
You're all bound up.
I definitely get off my schedule.
Yeah. So what I did was for the entire time I was out there, I didn't flush the toilet. I just wanted to see how gross I could get the toilet. So because nobody else was in the, I did have housekeeping come.
So number 1 and number 2,
but I only had
not really.
I only had a little of number 2. So
yeah.
by Saturday,
mellowed.
Yeah, it was pretty gross by the time we got to like Saturday morning. Yeah, Jesus. I just thought it was wild because every time I went to the bathroom, I'd look in there and be like, it's fucking gross. but yeah. But I made sure not. And then the last day,
you're a weird guy.
I am a weird guy. I am a weird guy. That's a good way to describe it.
I can't believe it took me this long to really be like, wow, that's a weird thing to do, like without an audience. I mean, granted, you're coming home and telling me about it, so it's it's content and it's the audience or whatever. So, but you had to do that.
Now, if I was
by yourself,
if I was hypnotized and the hypnosis person, the hypnotic therapist was like, "Why'd you do that?" My answer could only be, "I wanted to see how gross it would get."
Sure, which is, I mean, it's
very truthful.
I think that's a pretty reasonable.
And I'll tell you this: it got to be so gross that even with the pee, when I went to flush it, it almost didn't go down. It was like there was so much like thick urine in the
I would think
bowl.
it would almost get to the point where you could smell it. You would have to probably close the door because it would get smelly, right?
I mean, although I will say my hotel was the Hotel Roosevelt where I stayed is a very old building. So I had my window open and I was on the 11th floor. So maybe I just had this smell of the smell of show business.
Yeah,
which
probably
also
blowing in.
Which also smells like rancid piss.
Yes.
So I, but the final day, I mean, look, I'm not a psychopath. Like I flushed it before the housekeeper came to clean the room, and I did tip $10. Like, so
nice.
I didn't it wasn't like a weird thing where I was like, I want this woman to see my piss. I just, I flushed
like rock hard. Thinking about that.
I did contemplate jerking off into the toilet just to see what.
I think you almost have to.
Yeah, but I did jerk off a lot in the room, and I will say my room was maybe 80 square feet. It was a tiny little room, and
yikes, that's very small.
Every person that I talked to, that I told them I was staying at the Hollywood Roosevelt. I know I keep saying it that way. They all said to me, "Oh, did you know your hotel's haunted?" I said, "Yeah,
interesting.
Haunted with a gross toilet bowl." I'm the ghost of many Mountain Dews.
Yeah.
But and then bizarrely, and I know we have some English people that listen to the show. Everybody else staying in that hotel was from England or the United Kingdom, maybe Wales or something. And I spoke to some of the people that worked in the hotel. And they said, yeah, it's interesting. A lot of English people, because the hotel has like a nice pool. I mean, they have like it's like a nice hotel, but it's in like an urban area. It's not like it's not.
Yeah, where is the Roosevelt? What part of town is that?
It is across the street from Mann's Chinese
Theater.
Okay.
I know where that is.
It is right in the middle of Hollywood.
Yeah.
And
isn't that right on Hollywood Boulevard? Is it? Okay, yeah.
It's like Hollywood and Vine. I mean, it's right fucking there. So, but apparently a lot of English people, for some reason, Hollywood is a vacation destination, which is interesting to me because it's like an 11-hour flight to get from, I don't know, England to Hollywood, because it's 5 hours to JFK, and then from JFK to London or JFK to LAX, it's fucking another 5 or 6 hours. Yeah. So it's a long flight. It's like a long flight to get there. I would, if somebody was English and they were like, should I go to Hollywood? I'd be like, I wouldn't bother. It's a long flight. Just if you're going to fly 5 hours and you're just going for the weather, just go to Florida. Who cares?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll make it a little better. There's a Hollywood in Florida. It's
boom.
It's right
beautiful, right by Fort Lauderdale.
That you've been there. Exactly right.
I think I've driven through it.
Right on top of me. Bizarrely, a lot of French Canadians go to that Hollywood, Florida.
Okay. So, maybe it's just a big misunderstanding.
Hey, we got to get you. Where are the
people from the UK, they're obsessed with the weather. Well, the weather because of, it's so gray there. But then because LA is such a, world capital. I guess they probably think we'll go to LA. We'll go to Madame Tussauds.
Right. Maybe we'll meet a movie star. We will.
Yeah.
Hello.
Maybe Jason Statham.
Hey, but all right. Look at him. He's bald.
Ricky Gervais.
He's bald, but he's still a sex symbol. Only one of a chap can do that. That's Bruce Willis. It is.
Yeah.
But it was funny because on the Saturday, I have a cousin who lives out there, and she came to the pool on Saturday with her baby. Very cute baby.
Okay. Now we're talking.
So on Saturday, she was there, and these two older English ladies were at the next to us at the pool, and I said hello to them, and they were like, "Oh, you're so nice. No one's nice here." And I was like, "Really?" Because I said hello to them, and then they were like, "Oh, your baby." See, Ted, I'm not doing the accent. They were like, "Oh, your baby. Oh, little wanker."
I'm not seeing Ted in here, so it might be safe.
Well,
he's probably watching. He just hasn't commented.
Yeah, he's like, so. And he's probably furious.
You might be free to
look at that. Look at that little piper. Look at that little pisher. Isn't he cute? Look at little baby. Don't press his soft spot, because then little pudding comes out of his ears. It does. But yeah, my cousin and I were at the pool with her baby, and the women were like, "Oh, your baby's so cute." And I said, "Thank you." They go, "Are you married?" And I said, "Yes, but we're also cousins." They were like, "Really?" I said, yes. It's amazing that the baby's not retarded. And my cousin was like, stop saying that.
Oh, wow. This all really happened.
Yep. It really happened. Do you want to come to my room and look at my disgusting toilet full of fetid piss?
I'm collecting my own urine for no reason.
It's just for me because I'm lonely. But it was funny because they were complaining, the English women, they were like, it's so expensive to drink here. And so they showed me underneath their beach chair, they had, because right across the street from the hotel was a Target. And which, by the way, I had to go over there to buy a charging cable because
one of those city Targets. That's just basically like a gas station.
No, it's a huge Target.
Oh, okay. That's a full size Target then.
Everything was not only under lock and key, but like I went into the Target and I was like, I need a charging cable. And they were like,
that thing is like, they keep that in the vault probably.
It was like they needed like 2 keys, like NORAD.
Sure,
to do
like skeleton keys and
two alpha, beta, gamma.
Tom Hanks to get it.
Yeah. And so I was like,
that stuff is like locked up.
It took me like an hour to get out of the Target. But because LA, California, you can buy booze like pretty much anywhere. So the Target has, so the women, our neighbors on the Chase lounges, they were like, look what we did. And they opened up their blanket and they had like a fucking handle of Fleischmann's vodka.
Love it.
Just underneath their chair.
I would imagine it's like here, where if you're staying on Hollywood Boulevard, that's like staying in Times Square, where you're basically just going to get gouged, right? I mean, it's tourist.
Also hotels
area
by definition.
Yeah, definitely are always like huge markup.
Probably $20 for a drink. So they had they were like, we're making our own lemonades and vodkas. And by the way, Sprite is not lemonade, but they had like a 2-liter Sprite.
Okay.
And they had vodka, and they were just kind of like surreptitiously making
lemon
their own
lime
drinks behind. But they call that lemonade and vodka in England. I've noticed that. I know, right? Like, hey, have a little Falkland Islands, mister. So that was what they were doing. So the whole trip was like, meh, whatever. I saw Sasha Knopf when I was out there.
Okay, how's she doing?
Great. I'll tell you one thing, man. Nothing untoward. She was funny because she's like, are you going to tell your wife that we had dinner? I was like, absolutely, because otherwise it looks like I'm cheating on her. So
I feel like you want to kind of be open about that kind of stuff. Otherwise, then it looks weird.
Yeah. I was like, I had dinner with Sasha Knopf, and we did, and it was fine. I didn't want to be like, I had dinner and then I tried to fuck her, because I did not.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Right.
We had dinner. It was
nothing happened. Not that I didn't try.
Yeah, I know.
But
she was like, oh, you're married. I'm like, I'll take the ring off. Come on. Come to my room and look at my toilet full of fetid urine.
Oh, chicks, she would be.
She comes in the room. She's like, smells like ammonia in here. I'm like, that's because of the toilet. I haven't flushed this. Yeah, I haven't flushed this sucker in 72 hours.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is that. So she's doing well, and it sounds like she's holding up. What it sounds like from your.
We talked about it. I was like, Sasha, I'm like, you look like you're 30 years old, and she was like, well, I never.
Some people just
genetics.
She's Jewish, right?
Is she ever?
Okay, so she might be have the Sephardic.
I made that joke. I said, okay, it's Sephardic good looks, and she was like, I'm Ashkenazi.
Really?
Now, for those of you,
but I mean, that could be.
Let me give you a little lesson in Jews, everybody. Ashkenazi means you're you're a European Jew. Sephardic means you're a desert Jew, and she has dark hair, but she's like, I'm Ashkenazi. But no, she was like, I never had kids. And I said, do you do Botox or anything? She goes, well, yeah, but not that much. She's like once a year.
Oh, so okay.
I was like,
you're going to say once a week.
Yeah, it was funny. She went to the bathroom.
Only on Sundays.
Yeah. She goes to the bathroom, comes back. She's like, I have to do it every 10 minutes.
She gets stung by a bee.
Yeah. She's all red and blotchy.
Weird.
I'm like, you look smooth, but weird. No, but she looked great. So she seemed very happy. She was there. Nice. She's part of a bird rescue organization. So
of course,
there were a bunch of
she is.
There were a bunch of balut eggs that were going to go to a restaurant, but they didn't get there in time. So they started hatching. Do you know what balut is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently she was part of they were rescuing. So what balut, for those of you who don't know, is a fermented duck egg, and it's Filipino street food. So apparently what you do is like a restaurant will get it, and then you crack open the egg, and it's like the embryo of a baby duck, or is that a chick? I guess it's a chick. Was a baby duck a chick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, or is that a duckling?
Believe.
Is a duckling?
Ooh.
I think it's a duckling. I don't know.
We better make sure we're getting this right. Otherwise,
it's not a kid. That's a baby goat.
We could get flagged.
I don't want to
for misinformation.
The second we get monetized, they pull us. YouTube's like, you guys don't even know what a baby duck is.
Baby duck.
Plus, you said.
I feel like that's definitely right. I feel like you're right. Probably it's duckling.
Well, so what happens? So what happened is you go to like a Filipino restaurant,
duckling,
and you crack open the egg, and it's like the half-formed duckling, and you eat it. I bet it's actually probably pretty good. It's probably very.
I like that they made abortion an appetizer.
Yeah, that's a good way.
They made it like a delicacy.
Well, the thing is that
like these late-term duck abortion.
You could make the argument. How different is that from eating just an egg? It's not that different, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like the thing is.
I think it's just weirder because it's like more formed.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. But it's not like it's sentient. It's not like you crack it open and it's like, mommy, and you're like, hit it right in the head with a fucking spoon.
You have to murder it. I feel like that's the next step.
You take your little fingers
and you get to murder the duckling.
Yeah, you got to break its neck and then put it in.
God.
Then put it in the toilet.
Come up with an alibi.
I'm like, this I better flush.
Okay. Yeah, you got a weird.
I'm going to be in the paper tomorrow if the housekeeper sees this.
Yeah, hot load in a school of ducklings.
They're down in the break room. They're like, room 1122. I found a bunch of dead duck embryos in his toilet. And I think he pissed all over them. There might be a little cum in there too.
It's like it's a crime scene, basically.
This woman's like, I'm going.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, this woman's like, I'm going back to Guatemala. This America's no good. No mas trabajo. So anyway, so what had happened was with Sasha Knopf and these these balut eggs is, I guess, a restaurant had ordered a pallet of these duck eggs, but in the transit from wherever that supply duck egg thing, I don't know if it's a hatchery, from there to the restaurant, something happened where they waited too long, so all the ducks started hatching. But because these were meant to only be consumed when you have an egg and it's going to be hatched and you're going to have the duck and it's going to be for a petting zoo or it's going to turn into a duck. You have to move the egg around so that it evenly is distributed under the light. So they didn't do that because they assumed that these things were just going to be eaten.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, all the eggs started hatching. So now all of these little ducklings are now quadriplegics.
It's like Island of the Misfit Toys, kind of like
the Island of Dr.
They got
Moreau.
water pistol that shoots jelly, kind of Charlie in the box situation.
It's like starts.
What the
starts?
Fuck?
Yeah. So now,
oh no,
you have all these cute little ducks, but they
little
can't
special
walk.
needs ducks.
Yeah. So.
Oh no.
But apparently, I asked her. I was like, "Can they swim?" She's like, "Well, they can float." So
yeah.
So,
that's kind of.
So now Sasha found a place down in Orange County that agreed to take them. So the next day, on Friday, she was going to go down to Newport Beach, which is in Orange County, and she was going to deliver 300 of these hatched balut eggs that had now turned into like these horribly disformed ducklings. So that was, she was like, "Do you want to go with me?" I was like, "I'm not that bored."
I feel like this is kind of, not to be that guy to generalize, but like, I feel like when women don't have children, like this is you're gonna end up nursing some would-be balut back to health. You know what I mean? You're gonna mother something one way or another.
The only other way I could describe it is a trunk full of veal calves.
Right.
Kind of like, all right, they're alive, but their legs don't work, and now you got to make, I don't know, like exoskeletons for the veal calves.
Right.
So that was her Friday.
Oh, hey, we got a message here from Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Dan says, "Brian, you're on Ozempic."
I am.
Question mark.
Yep.
Yes.
Have
you asked Doc about Zepbound, parentheses, Manjaro?
That sounds
it
like
has
go ahead.
GLP-1 and GIP with greater weight loss and milder side effects, and insurance is more likely to approve for longer periods. Wow, we just had like a weird pharmaceutical.
Okay,
ask your doctor if Manjaro is right for you.
Number one,
maybe is what he's saying.
Sounds like one of the lesser known Marx
Zep
brothers.
Right.
Harpo,
right.
Zeppo, Zepbound,
Manjaro.
You know what's funny is when I was in LA, I actually Thursday afternoon, the doctor that my friend who's my doctor, shout out to Radiant Health and Beauty, where I get my Ozempic shot.
Yeah.
I had drinks. I mean, I didn't have drinks. I had a fucking iced cappuccino, but
sure.
They and they had water. It's very LA. But they came to my hotel. So my doctor's sister and her husband, who live in LA, they came to my hotel
to give you your little ouchie.
No. Just to like hang.
Oh, to hang.
Just to meet them.
Because they're friendly.
Yeah. They also were like, your hotel's haunted. I'm like, oh, my toilet's haunted.
Yeah.
I'm just
like, I think that's just.
Yeah. It's just room 1122.
It's just 5 days of piss.
Yeah. TJ Miller came in and pulled the fire alarm.
Right.
That's a deep cut. So to answer your question, we were talking about different types of Ozempic, but I will say to you, number one, I don't really have any side effects. I mean, I've thrown up a couple of times, but I just know what not to eat.
Right.
Number two, I think my insurance takes it, so I don't have to deal with that. Number three, how much more weight do I think I need to lose? I mean, I'm 172 pounds.
Well, I don't know what kind of dosage you're on, but my girlfriend is on it, and she weighs less than I do, and so you have to. I think the dose has to be high.
How much weight has she lost?
I don't know, maybe 20 pounds.
Okay, she's been on it for a while.
Yeah, but I think she didn't start with as much.
Oh.
And I think because maybe they have to up the dosage. I think she's on a very high dose because when you don't have as much to lose, maybe they have to up it. So she gets a lot of side effects. Like her stomach is like never right.
Oh, well, maybe
we look into Manjaro.
Right. Well,
Dan,
I tell you, Dan, maybe Adam. I tell you what,
I may look into Manjaro.
Yep,
because I want to eventually get on it.
Let me see. I'm trying to do fucking Groucho Marx. Hey, let me you got to vomit because you ate fucking dinner? I'll take you out for dinner. You're a cheap date. Right. Why don't you vomit before I take you out? Save me the money.
Yeah, a little Manjaro humor.
Yep. War in the Babylon. Is that the same town where I got my Samsung vacuum cleaner?
Probably.
Hey, are you from Manjaro?
Right.
Manjaro. It's a suburb of Montego Bay. All right. To answer your question, I have heard of what you're talking about. And if I had bad side effects, then I would certainly look into it. But whatever I'm doing, if it isn't broken, don't fix it.
Right.
I mean, having said that, I might be rife with God knows what, but I'm 51. I mean, I'm going to live forever. I mean, that's fine. Right. So, but it is interesting how there are different variations of the schedule drug that Ozempic is. Does that make sense? It's like whatever the name of the drug Ozempic, because when I was having drinks with my friend's sister and her husband, we were talking about it, and they were talking about different versions of Ozempic. As a matter of fact, most people who will sit here and be like, I'm on Ozempic, probably aren't even on Ozempic.
Yeah, it's still probably the semaglutide or whatever.
Oh, there you go.
It's the active. It's like, sildenafil is like Viagra, but it's also Blue Chew. It's also, in my cereal, breakfast cereal.
Yeah. It's like calling it's like calling a copier a Xerox machine.
Yeah.
Or can you hand me a Kleenex?
Sure, a Kleenex.
Yeah, it's a tissue. So, but yeah, look into it. Yeah, I'm on a very high dose. It'd be funny, like when I go now, the needle is like this giant. It's like a big a big plant sprayer. It's like has a big plunger. Like ow. Mm-hmm. But I have to and I went to see my dermatologist a few weeks ago. Apparently I had a big weird mole on my back. So, but it's not melanoma.
Okay.
So
that's good.
And even if it was, I would still make the podcast. And I think you know who I'm talking about. Okay.
Yeah. You're a little more committed.
Yeah. That's also cancer. Okay. We've all got our problems, lady. Okay. Just kidding. Yeah. So my doctor called me yesterday because he took a sample of the mole. I hurt like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
He like cut the mole off. He was like, I got a little sample of this mug. And he like cut it off. I was like, oh shit. He goes, come on, you pussy. Yep. He's like, what do you want? A lollipop? You faggot? No, but yeah. So, but then when he called me yesterday, he was like, this is your dermatologist. I was like, oh no. I said the same thing whenever a doctor calls. I go, how much time do I have? He goes, no, you're fine. Don't worry about it. And so
you're like making your last.
Yeah, but he goes, listen, it's not melanoma, but I don't like the cells. So we're just to err on the side of caution. We're going to take this off. Not a fan of the cells. He goes, you're going to have to schedule surgery. So I said, like tomorrow? He goes, no. You got a couple of months. Don't worry. He goes, you come in. Well, let's get through swimsuit season.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
I said, will it scar? He goes, what are you worried about? It's your fucking, it's your love handle. So anyway, so that is that. So I went to LA and it was a big fucking bust and that was it. And I will say this about Los Angeles, a couple of things. Like people go, do you like LA? I'm like, I don't know. Like,
Huey Lewis.
No,
I don't love LA.
No, hip to be square. No, that's not. Not.
Who is that?
No, I love LA. That's No. Let's don't look it up yet. We can do this.
I'm not going to be able to do it. I thought it was Huey Lewis.
It's not.
Okay, all right. Listen,
Randy
Newman.
Yes.
Really?
Yep. Look it up. I was going to say Randy Quaid from Independence Day, who's gone crazy now and lives in a
people guy.
Yep.
Love LA.
I love LA.
Wow, interesting.
Because I remember the music video. It was all like 80s celebrities,
right?
Like Tina Turner and Danny DeVito.
Yeah, fun.
And I don't know who was Lyle Lovett when he was married to Julia Roberts.
Times.
Oh, and you know who was in my hotel? And I know I told you this before. I'll tell the audience, but the Thursday when I didn't do the podcast, when Jim Jeffries uninvited me to his house. And when I was trying to fill my toilet bowl with as much piss as I could and not flush it, Snoop Dogg was shooting a video in the lobby of my hotel.
Yeah,
I did have a real white guy moment because it was early I got up so fucking early in my hotel room. I got up like 7. I managed to get back to sleep, and then I got up like at 9, and I went down to my lobby. And there was already a lot of activity with lights and cameras, and that's when I was like, me being a real showbiz veteran, I said, they must be shooting something here. So I kind of leaned in the corner of the building, and I had on my swimsuit and a t-shirt, and I had on just a pair of flip-flops, and this guy comes over to me like a PA, and he looked at me and he asked me like a question about somebody else. He was like, hey, have you seen Karen with the cables? And I go, no, but you should go. I said, no, you should go ask Tom. And he goes, okay, thanks.
Karen Cables.
Yeah.
They call her.
And he walked away. Like, I knew that. I think he just assumed because I kind of looked because most production people.
But didn't you say you were wearing swim trunks?
Yeah, but they were brightly colored shorts.
They were nice ones. They were board shorts.
These were they were purple label Ralph Lauren. If I must. Ooh. Yeah, someone's doing well.
Doing well.
But I think he thought I was like some kind of because like in LA it's hip to look like shit. Like the more you look like you don't care,
less you're trying. The kind of probably the more secure you are in the.
But I was also wearing
show business
a very expensive watch.
Oh, well, that's probably what he was looking at.
Well, I think he was kind of like, oh, this guy's got to be one of the producers because he's wearing a big old stupid watch and flip flops and shorts, and his hair is akimbo.
You could smell it on you.
Yeah, he probably was like, oh, he's staying in the hotel because he lives in Malibu. I didn't want to catch any of the 405 traffic. 405 is a real parking lot this time in the morning.
Tell me about it.
So
slow and going. 405.
So then I said, yeah, you should go ask Tom, and he was like, yes, sir. Kind of.
There's always a Tom.
There's always a Tom,
and he's got a clipboard.
Yeah. So he just went right away, and then I went outside on Hollywood Boulevard to take a walk, and I wanted to go look at the Superman that does not look anything like Superman, and all the different superheroes across the street. I was like across the street from all that shit, and I went over there, and then when I came back, they had set up like ropes and things, and you couldn't get into where Snoop Dogg was. And then the security guard was there, and I kind of went up and I was like, "Oh, what's going on here?" And he goes, we're shooting a Snoop Dogg." And I said, "I'm staying in the hotel." And he was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then I was like, "I better not run into him because I'm a Crip." There could be some. There could be some heat.
Okay, well, I think you'd be a blood because he's a Crip.
Did I fuck it up?
He's loked up. Yeah, he's loked up. So
son of a bitch.
So you'd be a blood, but it's a good thing we talked about this.
He was very.
You didn't say this to the guy.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he didn't even know.
I said I'm a Crip.
He might not be as connected as I am.
I think he was just kind of like, I'm just going to engage this white guy in his shorts.
Well, he's a Crip because we would have to, you know, talk about like new business, old business.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, read the minutes.
Hey, who are we popping a cap in, my homie?
Yes.
And another rap superstar. You know how my gym is super gay?
Oh, right.
I was in the gym on Tuesday, and guess who was in the gym and walked within 6 feet of me?
Right.
50 cents.
50 cents.
Yeah.
He was in the health club.
Yeah, he was up in the club.
He was in the club.
I guarantee he had no idea what a den of homosexuality he was in.
Well, I think he's kind of a legendary homophobe too, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's old school.
It was funny. I was at the trainer. We're upstairs. And I felt really shitty because I hadn't taken a dump in like 7 days.
Okay.
So I was trying to bench press and I was like, oh, this sucks. And then all of a sudden, these 3 big fat black guys. I mean, they were like definitely looked like they would beat you up, but they were not in good shape. And they were like dumpy, but they were big. They were like big.
Sure.
They had gone to pot, as my grandfather might have said.
Okay.
My grandfather would said something like, "These darkies have gone to pot."
Oh, boy. I never heard that. Gone to pot.
Yeah, like gone to seed.
Gone. Okay.
Like, you know. So
gone to pot.
Yeah. And actually, let me just say, my grandfather was not racist. Okay.
He was a good
and he
man.
actually loved Jews too. He was very he's very progressive.
Well, he just wanted to work in the media, probably. Wanted to get a job working on a space laser.
Hated Japs though. He's like, it was when I was in Guadalcanal, those Japs. You know, if they killed you, they would never take prisoners. They would cut your balls off and make you eat them in front of the other guys.
Hey, we got a follow up from Dan.
What's up, Dan?
He said it's diabetes.
Yeah.
Name is Manjaro. My diabetes name is Manjaro.
Yeah.
My gang name is Manjaro.
My Crip name.
Right, my Crip name. But under the name Zepbound, it's FDA approved for weight loss and has an extra hormone. One extra hormone than Ozempic. Zepbound is just newer with more of a bunch of weight loss stuff.
All right.
With more of a bunch and weight loss. Okay.
Hey, Dan, if provided you don't catch cancer, you want to do the show next Friday?
Yeah, I mean, are you like a rep or something?
I know.
But he probably tried it, and it probably just is.
All right.
I mean, it's only
so. Let's ask.
It only makes sense that it's gonna,
Let's ask Dan a quick question for the audience. Dan, are you on this stuff? And how much weight have you lost? And how much weight? How fat were you, and how fat are you now?
Yeah, you can just put it in the chat.
Yeah, tell us. This is what we call engagement, people.
Like we ask you a question, then you got to pay $10.
Is this costing him money?
Yeah. Anytime I break in, it's because it's a super chat. I don't just break in for.
Hey, thanks, Dan. Well, all right.
We don't get out of bed for.
All right. Well, then don't spend the money.
No, but I'm saying you can just write it in the free chat, and I'll read it. Like,
okay, write that part in the free chat.
Yeah,
we'll give you.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Let's go down the horn and say hi to folks, and then we got to jump over to listen. We got a members only stream.
We do have a members
that we're doing memberships.
It's so much fun,
and we're also doing timeshares.
And I will talk about. By the way, when I was in, I'm gonna tickle your ass with a feather. When I was in Los Angeles, I did drugs.
Oh, you did drugs? Okay,
yeah,
and we're gonna get more into the juicy details.
Yeah. I may have drank some of my piss stew. No, I didn't. I did my urine bouillabaisse.
But if you want to get let me put the I just posted the link. If you want to purchase a
membership.
Yeah. It's it's $5, and then you get a bonus show every week, and then you can watch us do it live. You can watch we click over to right after this.
And Adam, do you also get access to the archived bonus content that we've done on YouTube?
You sure do.
Oh wow!
Yeah, the last few months of that too.
$5. It sounds like a
Call
deal of a
now.
lifetime. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You almost can't afford not to. You're losing money not doing it.
Oh, and also just next week we're going to be Adam made a beautiful new. We're kind of doing a little reboot here of certain things. We have a new theme song that is in the style of the of Mission Impossible, Midnight Express.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to, if you've never heard the soundtrack to Midnight Express, can you look up the guy's name, the synthesizer guy, please?
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
What, he's the guy that composed Midnight Express?
It's wild. It's like this Italian. It's like very early.
I think I know who you're talking about.
It's very early synthesized, like EDM, like early 80s. I think that movie came out in 81, 82. It was written by Oliver Stone. And if you've never seen the movie Midnight Express, it's fucking wild. So, and if you watch it, you'll be like, oh shit, this is from
Giorgio Moroder.
Hey, Spaghettio Veronio.
Right.
Giorgio Zeppo. Yeah, Giorgio Moroder. Yeah, but if you have Spotify, look it up, Giorgio Moroder, because the soundtrack to Midnight Express is really it's very atmospheric. So in the style of the soundtrack to Midnight Express, we've done a new theme music song, and we laid down some vocal tracks.
Yeah, so it was composed with artificial intelligence in the style of Midnight Express, but then Brian said, "Ooh, can I lay some vocals on that?" And I'm gonna make like I think I should have time this week, but I'm going to make a new video.
Yeah, it was
video intro with one of my templates.
Yeah, Adam was smoking a blunt, and he went, "You want to lay some stank on this, motherfucker?"
Yeah. I said, "Let's make a record, baby." Yeah. I came out from the bathroom and I had unbuttoned my shirt down to my navel and said, "Let's make a record, baby."
Guess the movie. See, we need the demo tapes so that we can get the record deal, so we can pay you for the studio time.
Is that Boogie Nights?
Yes, Boogie Nights. Yes,
great movie. I want to rewatch that because that's such a good movie.
It's a great movie, but it's a ridiculous movie. Having worked in the industry. Oh, and one thing I do, I want to visit something very quickly, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this or not, but I feel like.
Do you want to wait until we go?
No, because I want this. This is a more of a bulletin for. I think it's for everybody listening. I think for just in my life and maybe in your life and the people you know. So
maybe this is a final thought,
like Jerry Springer.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Let me give you some betting music. Hold on.
Do it. The internet, it's everywhere. Left, right, up, down. And a lot of times the anonymity of the internet lends itself to us not being our best self. For example, some people on Facebook, that's right, I use Facebook, sorry, I'm not cool, I'm a boomer, are on my personal Facebook page. And I put a picture of my daughter who's entering her senior year of high school. And I just put a picture up and I said, class of 2025. And all these comments, oh, so pretty, good for her, congratulations, blah, 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 blah. And then somebody put something that was just untoward. It was unkind.
Right, untoward.
And unkind. So, listen, I can take it, and I like to joke as much as the next guy. But maybe just think about, we should all just be just nice to each other. Don't be shitty about somebody's kid on their Facebook page. I mean, clearly I don't know you and you wanted to be funny and maybe you thought it was funny to say that thing, but it made my daughter read it. It made her uncomfortable. You know, let's all try to be nice to each other. And I try to be, I like to be funny and joke and everything else, but and for those of you who, I mean, some people listening to this, you've come to New York and I've had like lunch with you and things. Sure, you've had to pay for lunch.
Right.
And,
separate checks.
Yeah, separate checks. Right. And I've taken something to go and I may have taken the celebrity cookbook from the restaurant, ordered an apron.
Yeah.
Can I get an oven mitt? Mm-hmm. A kitchen tour. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Just because I'm not going to see you, you're not going to see me. Let's all try to be nice. And I've fucked up too like that. I've been kind of shitty online and I've always regretted it. So that's it. And that person's now blocked and now you're off the fun team.
Person.
Yeah, fuck you for life. Mm-hmm. That's it.
All right.
Oh, all right. That was it, huh?
Yeah, it was an abrupt ending.
That was cool. All right.
We got all kinds of fun like betting.
Oh, you're the best. Adam,
these come preloaded.
Well, whatever. Just take the compliment. You're the best. All right.
I don't want to take credit for something I didn't do.
You're so serious. It's adorable.
I know.
Come over here. Sit over here.
Well, people know. People
Nobody
watching.
Knows anything.
No, everybody knows StreamYard comes.
Nobody knows shit about StreamYard.
Yes, they do. No, they 100.
Assuming that people listen and know StreamYard.
Somebody literally just said, "Isn't that the same music from MLC?"
Okay,
like they absolutely know that. That's
Adam.
So I just don't want to look like a jackass, being like, "I know, I'm a genius."
Okay, I sit corrected.
Yes.
This is like watching the Santa Claus in the mall getting drunk at Applebee's.
We got a super sticker from Heartless Romantic, who, by the way, is a member.
Oh, dude, what's up, my man? What's up,
puts a
my
little
brother?
symbol. Yeah, so if you want to become a member,
yes,
you know, hit the join button.
Yep.
Or I actually posted a little. I'll post it again really quick.
You're over there.
Chat. I'm really fucking
pay no attention to the man behind the curtain
right
over there.
But that's the link if you want to copy paste it for mobile.
Oh, cool.
Because they're weird about mobile on.
I know it's so crazy over there.
Apple.
But and this is good because with everybody doing more stuff, it gets us more fun to have more. You know, like if there's certain things that you want to have more on the show, just let us know. We'll do it. I mean, you know, it would be fun to get TJ Miller and I were going back and forth yesterday on like texting each other puns and things. Would it be fun to get that guy on the show?
Oh, he's a blast. I used to listen to his podcast.
Oh,
he's a fun guy.
Oh, does he also use StreamYard?
I don't believe they live stream.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't have known either way. Okay. Then remember, for some reason, if you want to go over to Patreon, that's also over there. And if you're on Patreon, I know this is a lot of, now I feel like we're trying to fucking sell you a timeshare, but Patreon, you get access to like a shitload.
Of years and years
of shows. And also like ringtones and kind of weird shit. And somebody on YouTube did ask about additional wrestling content. You might be a robot, but if you're not a robot, if you go over to Patreon, we have Wet Wrestling, the Cowgirl Rumble, and that lives over on Patreon.
Although so what I think we should post,
and we can also
maybe post that on YouTube.
Well, why don't we put it on? Can we put it on the members YouTube?
Sure. Yeah, we could. Yeah, let's do that. Members only. So, what was the one that I just dug out of the
Shawshank Redemption?
Shawshank is up for free, but then we'll put Cowgirl Rumble. That'll be members only.
Yes,
I'll put that up.
Yes,
but wasn't there another one?
There is another one. Yes, and that should be, if you don't, it might be on a hard drive. We'll find
Naughty Schoolgirl Food Fight.
Naughty Schoolgirl Food Fight.
Yeah, no, we have that one. So we'll put those up members only.
Yeah, we'll put them.
All right.
So if you want more wrestling bullshit, then come be a member, and and that's it. And if you're a YouTube Premium member like I am, which keeps getting, it's like $2 more expensive every month. Yeah, so it's annoying. But
shrinkflation, maybe.
Yeah, hey, leave my cock out of this. Fucking. And remember, all the socials, it's Brian M Show. Okay, now we're going to the bonus show. So thank you, everybody. Yeah. Thank you for the stickers and whatever all that bullshit is. And I'll check out the Zeckendorf mobile weight loss stuff. And right? And try that toilet thing, but make sure you flush before housekeeping comes in, or you'll be in the paper.
What? Try the
try the no pissing or anything.
Oh,
I mean,
Yeah.
Bop, bop, bop. See you later, everybody. Have a great weekend. I like to make my old girlfriend fucked in the asshole.
Yeah. Ooh, outro freestyle. That's fun.
That was good.
All right. Sign up.